Well, hello everyone, Speccy here and welcome to another review. And now I'm taking a look at Continental Circus for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Now, the game came out, this version came out in 1989, published by Virgin Games. And it's based on the Taito coin-op of the same name. Now, what is interesting is that despite the title and the circuses that don't play a part, my understanding is the game was supposed to be called Continental Circuit rather than Continental Circus, but something got misconstrued and it became, and it, and as a result, it got it got the name stuck ever since, and it became Continental Circus as a result. There she goes. Oh, I've taken a knock and I need to pit in. I'm not oh, bollocks. I'm not entirely convinced about these controls. I can barely see some of the roadside detail there because it's blending in with the background. I'm not really keen on that, the way they've done the sides of the road. It's a bit of an eyesore. Oh god, now I've taken damage again. Yeah, I better pit in here. Come on, stop. Thank you. These guys will work on me and then I get going again. Don't think I'm going to make it, am I? No, time's run out. I'm gradually slowing down. So what you got to do is be high enough in the ranking to qualify. In top right corner, it said I have to be 80 or better in order to qualify. That's how far I got. Let's try this again. Come on, get on with it. So I'm ranked 99 and I need to get to 80th or better before in order to proceed. Frame rate's not too bad. Not quite as slick as in WEC Le Mans though, which is a bit of a shame. Oh, damn it! Come on. Move! Trouble is, when you crash like that, it takes so long to get going again that you get overtaken by blooming goodness knows how many other cars. Oh, give over. I barely even touched that. Right, better pit in, otherwise I'm going to be in trouble. Stop! Alright, let's go. Again, this has a change of gear, but it's like it doesn't tell you what gear you're in. Why not? What is it with racing games not telling you what gear you're in? There's no need for it. I've run out of time again. Oh, that place again. Let's try it one more time. She's fairly well animated, I suppose. Nice use of colour on the lights. It's not exactly the most visually resplendent game in the world. I mean, when you compare this with WEC Le Mans, this just looks a little bit bland by comparison. I mean, the graphics aren't awful, they're just not great. I mean, it moves at a fair rate of knots, and so I can't complain about the frame rate. Oh, damn it. Just got to try not to take too many more hits. I'm going to see what happens if I don't pit in on this. Oh, that's another thing that annoys me about this game. The other cars can just come out of nowhere and whack you one. Get moving! See, this is another problem. Because you don't know what gear you're in, you don't know if you're in the right gear to get going if you come to a halt. See, programmers, this is why there needs to be an on-screen thing telling you what gear you're in. There's no need at all to not have that. It's just so many games that don't have that, and there's no need for it to be left out. Oh, sod you. Move! See, look, by the time you've got going, you've been overtaken by all and sundry because it takes too bloody long to do anything, and the time limits are so tight. Oh, I ran out of time again. So that's dash. So that's Continental Circus on the Spectrum. I'm presuming that's a 48K version because there was absolutely no sound whatsoever, not even the slightest roar of an engine. Now it's not even letting me key in my initials for some reason. Oh, there we go. That's better. Again, why I can't just type it in. So as I was saying, that's Continental Circus for the ZX Spectrum. Bit average, really, and frustrating, and not particularly visually interesting. So graphics, not terrible, but in the same token, not exactly awe-inspiring either. They're a bit bland. I don't like the way the roadside detail is handled. There's just something about it that puts it on a lower level compared to what I saw in Chase HQ or WC Le Mans. And some of the hit detection was a little bit questionable. There are points where I barely even touched another car, and suddenly I had smoke coming out of my car, and I was being advised to pit in. Now, my understanding is, although it didn't happen during that review, if you keep on taking damage, eventually your car catches fire, and then that's seriously bad. There's no sound in this version, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. I wish it could have had something. I mean, even WC Le Mans had some sound. And look at the way they try to simulate the wheels going round. That just a couple of flashing squares. It's not entirely convincing. So it doesn't really feel like you're moving along a road in quite the same way that it did in WC Le Mans or even Chase HQ. And the lack of sound doesn't really help that either. Gameplay wise, it's a bit thin. There's not really anything here that hasn't been done loads of times before and better. I mean, being forced to pit in is an interesting thing to have to do, but the way everything's handled is so frustrating. I mean, as I said, the hit detection I questioned, and the fact that the time limits are so tight, and when you go through when you come to a halt, it just takes so long to get going. And the fact you don't know what gear you're in at any point, it just doesn't. It just didn't really work. It's not a Continental Circus isn't a terrible game. It's just average and derivative. So I'm going to give Continental Circus 5 out of 10. It's reasonably okay, but it's derivative and not particularly great. It's quite average, and it's a bit too frustrating for me to realistically give it much, if any, higher in my score. So I hope you enjoyed that review. Texie88 out.